You're watching Alaska's news source.
Breaking news tonight, the FBI Anchorage released a statement on social media today announcing it will support the Department of Homeland Security with immigration enforcement efforts throughout Alaska. Investigative reporter Johnson Kuhn has an update.
Rebecca, the announcement says the collaboration will also be in partnership with the Department of Justice. The FBI Anchorage has shared photos taken over the last few days of immigration enforcement as part of that collaboration. The photos were taken over the weekend and into Monday. On January 29th, President Trump signed the Laken-Riley Act into law, his first piece of legislation that federally mandates the detention of illegal immigrants who are accused of theft, burglary, assaulting police, and any crime that results in death or serious injury. Reached by Alaska's news source, neither FBI Anchorage or the Department of Homeland Security regional office in Seattle would confirm whether the recent collaboration was a direct result of the passage of the Laken-Riley Act. 20 minutes after the FBI Anchorage posted to social media, the Anchorage School District released a statement to the community saying the Anchorage School District is carefully reviewing recent presidential executive orders and directives to assess their potential impact on our students, families, and staff. We want to assure you that our priority remains ensuring that every school is a safe, welcoming, and supportive space for all students and families. ASD said it remains committed to establishing protocols while working with law enforcement, including immigration authorities, adding, quote, any immigration officials seeking to enter ASD property will be required to present a judicially signed warrant. This warrant will then be reviewed by ASD's legal counsel to ensure it meets the necessary legal standards before any action is taken. Alaska's news source has reached out to the Department of Homeland Security's regional headquarters in Seattle for more information and are waiting to hear back. Johnson Kuhn, Alaska's news source.
The cuts will be deep and painful, and if your student attends the Anchorage School District, be prepared to see programs slashed. Lauren Maxwell takes a closer look at what's on the chopping block.
The proposed budget that school board members will be asked to approve includes some deep cuts to both staffing and programming. It includes increasing class sizes, eliminating more than 200 teaching positions, getting rid of the Ignite program for gifted learners, cutting all middle school sports, and at the high school level, eliminating swimming, hockey, and gymnastics. The Anchorage School Board president says they can make some changes if Anchorage receives more funding at a later date, but some things they have to move on sooner rather than later.
They have to move forward with staffing. They have to move forward with involuntary transfers between buildings. Principals have to make decisions about which programs they're going to offer in the fall. It's very real, even if we think it's not the final budget yet.
Now, the district does want people to contact their legislators and ask for more funding. And people can also testify at Tuesday night's school board meeting, which starts at 6 p.m. Lauren Maxwell, Alaska's news source.
A long time in the making, the native village of Okluna has finally opened a gaming hall to the public. Now, the gaming hall is home to 85 machines.
So it gives you the feel of a slot machine in Vegas, is that?
It does. In fact, these themes you'll see in Las Vegas, Wolf Run and Triple Fortune Dragon, these are very, very popular themes down in Nevada.
Now, that current building, that one you see right there, that one's temporary. The village is working on a 50,000 square foot facility they hope to open within the next 18 months. Once completed, officials estimate the gaming hall will generate upwards of $67 million in economic activity and create more than 400 jobs. Clear and dry in South Central, but the cold and even snow are a concern for some Alaskans tonight. Chief Meteorologist Musa Fry has the latest alerts in effect.
Yeah, Rebecca, this is probably the fewest amount of weather alerts that we have seen here in several weeks. So that's the good news. But two concerns I want to let you know about. First of all, that winter weather advisory in the Brooks Range through those Dalton Highway summits. That is where we're still seeing some snow and also some blowing snow from strong winds in the area. Also further down across Southeast, zooming in here, we are continuing to see very cold conditions, wind chills combining with temperatures down into the teens and single single digits, prompting cold weather advisories really from Petersburg all the way south into Ketchikan. This is an area where we could see wind chill values as low as 40 below. Again, some extreme cold conditions. It's important that you remember to keep any exposed skin covered up when it gets that cold. Current wind chill right now is at 15 in Ketchikan, 17 in Juneau. Still much colder across the interior. 5 below with the wind chill right now in Fairbanks, dropping to 16 below at Anaktuvik Pass. Now we are seeing air temperatures below zero in Fairbanks and Anana, also up into Fort Yukon, and that'll of course be the case overnight tonight. And with clear, dry conditions across South Central, we're seeing teens and single digits. Those temperatures will also continue to fall. Anchorage right now sitting at 15 degrees, but no wind chill to worry about here. Overnight, we hold on to those clear, dry conditions. A little patchy fog at times, but otherwise temperatures tomorrow will be very similar to what we saw today, starting out in the single digits. And again, across the interior is back below zero briefly overnight tonight. And then we'll see those high temperatures tomorrow getting right back up into those single digits, even lower teens. And I'll have a look at your full extended forecast here in a few minutes.
Thank you, Melissa. A skier was injured and trapped for 5 hours last Friday in an avalanche near Turnagain Pass. The Chugach National Forest Avalanche Information Center says that the skier had descended about 200 vertical feet down East Groundhog Peak, triggering the avalanche. The center says the skier was carried roughly 1,200 feet down, and the skier was part of a 6-person party, and the others were able to reach him within minutes and began to administer medical care.
So pretty much he started skiing down. Probably 15, 20 seconds in, I hear a radio call like, hey, there's an avalanche. I unstrapped my snowboard. I talked to the guy who was still at the top. I jumped on the snow machine, went down the mountain, and I was just hearing the conversation that the crew at the bottom was having. 2 of the other party members jumped on snow machines to the apron, the bottom of the line, to try to find them as quick as possible. Because you don't know if you're going to come to a burial site or, you know, a dead body or someone who needs help. Fortunately, he didn't die on impact in the rocks, and he wasn't buried in an avalanche. So that made the whole rescue that much quicker.
Stay tuned for Alaska's News Source tomorrow. We are working on continuing coverage. A 16-year-old was shot and killed in Juneau during what police say appears to have started as road rage. Juneau police say just after midnight this morning, a 24-year-old reported his vehicle was being followed and it ended in another driver being killed. According to police, the 24-year-old says the other driver pointed what looked like a rifle at him. Juneau police say the 24-year-old then shot and killed the other driver with his pistol. The 24-year-old was taken into custody for questioning, but was later released. The police chief says the preliminary information points to a case of self-defense. The 16-year-old died at the scene. Police say he was actually armed with a BB gun.
It looked very realistic, very much like a firearm. Responding officers also held the initial belief that it was a actual firearm. It was determined much later in the investigation that it was not.
And the chief says this is an ongoing investigation and the district attorney will decide about charges. A pilot landed a small engine plane in a mall parking lot in Anchorage yesterday. No one was injured and the NTSB is investigating. The Cessna 182 likely suffered engine failure on its final approach, leading to the emergency landing. Investigators say the pilot reacted well, and fortunately, the Northway Mall parking lot was mostly empty. The plane was damaged after hitting a curb.
The smaller ones like this one don't get a lot of attention. Nobody was injured. Nothing really bad happened, thankfully. But still, if we can learn anything from it, the larger scale is that we try and pass those lessons learned to everybody nationwide.
The plane has been moved back to Merrill Field. Investigators will continue to learn what led to the engine failure.
Thanks for listening. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcast from Alaska's News Source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's News Source app.